Okay, welcome to part two. I don't have a lot of time, so we're gonna do this properly and right, and hopefully, I will teach you all something today. And FYI, Instagram. After I charge my phone, I will do more martial art talk on the way to work. Yeah, just to get that out of the way. All right. So, for those who don't understand this, this is how this works. I'm gonna try this one time and one time only. If you are now a martial artist, and if you are a martial artist and you've never been trained bound fighting, because that's not something that they do in the new year. Now, I was trained late 70s, 80s, 90s, where infinite possibilities was a thing. Now, you know, now the martial art world has become something that is astonishingly fucked up. Alright? I hadn't too long ago found out that I didn't need a black belt to open up a school, just a business license. So I'm kicking myself in the ass because I'm 47 and I started making movies at 27 and hadn't caught a break, no breakthrough roles, none of that shit. But I'm a badass martial artist. I normally don't claim a badassness, but I wouldn't be showing you shit if I knew for a fact that the shit didn't work. But I'm also telling you right from wrong, what to do, what not to do. And if you have never been trained in a martial art, then this is not for you. Because you will get hurt. Straight up and down, you will get hurt. When I tell you outside to inside crescent kick and escape, and say he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day, because that shit's the truth. You will be able to escape and run away versus trying to be a zealot and trying to be a badass. Not everybody's a badass. And everybody who thinks they're a badass aren't as bad as they think they are. Your fighting experience is your only proof that you are good enough to fight. If you are a horrible fighter, you'll know it after the first time you get hit. You'll know if you can't recover lickety-split, you got problems. My old age, I probably can't recover lickety-split. And the last time I said that shit, I wound up getting hit in the face twice and not going to sleep and wound up in handcuffs. So, yeah. And I was handcuffed in front. And I was spoken to by the people who owned the vehicle that my cousin stole that I drove. All kinds of shit. He didn't know that I know how to fight with my hands tied. He didn't know that I was taught by a Green Beret a lot of different shit. How to kill people with my pinky. And that was before I got into the Army. But we won't go there because that shit's not relevant. What is relevant is that if you are in a situation where your hands are tied, if I can do it at 47, you can do it. But you want to keep that shit basic. You do not want to do tornado kicks. You do not want to do jumping spin kicks. You don't want to leave the ground if you can help it. The only things you really want, get your blocks, high, medium, low, high, medium, low, high, medium, low. High, medium, low. You got that. Because you're going to need that. Those are basic blocks. Alright? Now, when you strike, again, do not clasp your hands. The easiest way to break your hands is to have them locked together. You throw a punch like this, you don't know what that guy's fucking face is made out of. If he has a glass jaw, great. You're probably going to put him to sleep. If he has an iron jaw, you're going to break your freaking hands. So you want to fight with your hands like this. Because you can block and you can block. And if you know anything about Kempo, block and strike. You guys, Kempo has a 2-knuckle strike. For those who don't know Kempo, block. Now I blocked it and I struck. So that's a full extended punch. I've blocked and I've struck inside this little indentation in your elbow there. All right? Go ahead. Everybody who doesn't know Kempo, go ahead. Shun me now about the pressure points and all that. And I'm going to tell you this. I can't make you believe what works for Kempo. I can only tell you I know how to do it. There's 365 pressure points in the human body, and 250 will fuck you up. Now, I can't make you shit on yourself, but I can make you wish you never met me. It's really just that simple. And I'm 5'3". The bigger you are, the harder I get to hit you. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You're big, so I don't have to play with you. I don't have to play nice. I can hit you in your throat, and I can hit you in your elbows. I can break your kneecaps and your elbows, because Kempo taught me break at a joint and a pressure point. Break an artery. Break something that makes them never want to come back and fuck with you. Where karate just taught me to block, and kung fu just taught me to block and strike. Kempo taught me to block and strike at the same time, and what to use and where to use it at. We'll go into a Kempo lesson another time because you can also use mantis forms and use Kempo. Same with snake and other animal forms, but we're not going to go into that heavy ass lesson because I don't have a lot of time. I have to recharge this phone and go to work. So, you're blocking and you're striking. Now, got those punch, boom, your hands are still tied, so you block. Now, for karate, for you guys who do karate, you're going to block to the outside and you're going to counter. All right? There's a default in that. But if you're a karate person, you know the default, so you're going to be ready to counter the counter. All right? Now, for Kung Fu, here's where shit gets great. I can block and break and counter. Versus the karate, I can block and counter. Understand? Now, my hands are tied, so that's going to make the breaking a little fucking difficult. So for the sake of argument, let's not block and break. Let's just block and counter. So block, pull, knee. That's Kung Fu. Block, pull, other knee. That's karate. This is the power leg, so I'm going to torque all the power into that leg. Where this is the direct leg, so it's the closest target. Boom! You know, I still have his arm at the wrist. It's a lot I can do with the arm, but I don't have time for all that bullshit. So when I pull him, I'm going to knee him in this area. He's going to pinch over. Now I can do the Wing Chun throw and just do this, or I can do the Wing Chun throw where I step in and throw, which is also a judo throw. I understand how that works. And in judo, if they haven't taught you that it's easier to take someone off of 1 foot than 2 feet, go back to your teacher. That would be for the grab behind. And they got you in this grass grip where you kick the instep of the foot and you flip them over. If they haven't taught you that, reevaluate your teacher. I'm not saying they're a bad teacher. Maybe they just wasn't taught the same shit that I was taught. Okay? Now, guys coming at you. You're set for a side kick. You have the Taekwondo side kick where you chamber and thrust out. You're not going to have time for that shit. He's running at you. Boom! Now, as I said, head or gut, aim for the gut. Most times other people are weak in the gut. He's running at you. So, you know, a gut shot will do you some justice. Where if you try to do a head shot, he may actually see that coming. He's not going to think that you're going to hit him in the gut. Because most people, when they teach you how to fight, they teach you to block up here before they ever teach you to block down here. Think about that shit. Go back to day one and remember your blocks. Boom, boom. Remember that. I got to undo this damn thing to do it. But anyway, remember your step back block. Step back block. It's always a head block. There's always wax on, wax off blocks. There's never body blocks unless you take Thai fighting. Thai fighting teaches you to block here and here. That's their first couple of blocks. If you're taking traditional Thai fighting, yeah, this shit right here. You're going to block here, you're going to block here. It covers this whole radius. When you learn a Thai block, it is a block to the body, but you're blocking the head at the same time because it's a come down block. I understand. I've taken multiple forms of martial arts. I'm not going to tell you something that's not going to work unless I don't know that it doesn't work. And maybe it only works for me. Let's put it that way. Maybe it only works for me. So for me, it'll work. Maybe for everyone else, it will not work. Now, again, you have your blocks. So for Kung Fu, I'm going to get to the outside. When I get to the outside, I'm going to pull and I'm going to throw that knee. For karate, I'm going to block to the inside and I'm going to counter. But I have to be ready for your counter. My hands are tied. So it's better to combine karate and Kung Fu. I want to end this fight quickly. So I'm going to block to the outside. I'm going to pull you. And I'm going to go from Kung Fu to karate really fucking quickly by using this leg here. So Kung Fu, block, pull. That's the Kung Fu part. Shift, bring the knee up. That's the karate. When he bends over, I have options now. I can do a Kung Fu elbow because this is the elbow that was directly the closest to the opponent. Or I can do karate again and bring more power to the elbow furthest away. So when you get to fighting and you're doing your martial art, you're going to have to learn how to combine your martial arts skills. So when people tell you about MMA, do not sleep on MMA. Don't sleep on MMA. Don't sleep on Aikido. Do not sleep on Kempo. Don't sleep on any martial art, including Krav Maga and Sambo and the other shit that I don't know. Because you can learn something new from each style, and you will learn how to use what works versus what does not work. So again, let's go to the fact that you can't fight. So you want to escape. Alright? Guy's coming at you, outside to inside crescent kick. Boom! Your hands are still tied. He's over there. You shift your hips, and you're over here. You've done all you needed to do because you've escaped. Multiple opponents is a problem. Now, this is where you're just going to have to fight. I'm sorry. I want to make this the last part of this video. If you have multiple opponents, you're just going to have to fight. Sadly, you may have to leave the ground a few times on multiple opponents. So this is where all the rules get thrown out. Alright? Let me point that out that I just said. This is where all the rules get thrown out. Alright? You have multiple opponents. You very well may have to leave the ground because if they're coordinated, you got a problem. If they're not coordinated, you may be able to get out of this bitch unscathed. However, not everybody's going to attack you like they do in superheroes. Not everybody's going to attack you like you see in the movies with this overly thrown right hook. You know? Not everybody's going to do that in real life. That's not how that shit's going to work. In the event that you got one guy coming this way and one guy coming that way, boom. You know, you need to be able to block one and strike the other. It doesn't matter which one, boom. But you be able to do that. You need to be able to do that. And the reason why I'm telling you that because it's multiple opponents. Your hands are tied. You're going to have to incapacitate at least one of them before you can incapacitate the other. So you need to decide within a split second on which one you're going to incapacitate. And 9 times out of 10, you may not get that option. This guy's coming at you. If this guy and this guy's coming at you, this guy's closer, this is the guy that you attack. Alright? And this is what you do because you want to be able to escape multiple opponents. This is where that outside to inside crescent kick is the best thing that you can do. Again, you got a guy coming over from the right and a guy coming from your left. The guy at the left is a fuck ton closer, so you step back. Now you just sent him towards his opponent. That just gave you space. And in that space, when you landed right here, you shift your hips and you get the fuck out of Dodge. Do not have to continue the engagement unless by the unfortunate luck of martial law, when the guy goes down, the other guy jumps over him and he's going to grab you. So you have to accept that. Now you have to fight for your life. In the event that what I says really works and the other guy runs into the other guy, 2-for-1 sale, then you don't have to engage because they're probably both going to be dinged the fuck up and you should make your way out. Like, honestly, truly to God, you should make your way out. A key important fact before I end this video, key important fact about fighting. You need to learn when is the time to escape and when is the time to fight. Like I said, guy over here was mad closer. So, it's inevitable that I'm going to fight one or both of these men. It's inevitable. It's not going to stop. Again, this guy's closer. He's running right at me. This guy's running at him. They don't have a plan. They're not coordinated. So when I step back and I use that outside to inside crescent kick, I have sent him in the direction that he needs to go in. And I sent him in that direction.
It's 1 o'clock p.m.
Because I'm going to need to survive this fight. If I send my enemy into my other enemy, I have landed in a position where I can escape. Again, he's coming. He's closer. This guy's, he's on the way. He's not far behind, but he's far enough behind that I have enough time to work this shit through. So he's coming, and this will be it because it's 1 o'clock. So this guy's coming full speed. This guy's coming at minimal speed. I have enough time to coordinate my brain, which I should already know in the fight. Before the fight even begins, I should already know what I'm going to do. And second nature should take over. This guy's right here. Bam! His friend is coming. I just set him in the course of the path of his friend. Now, when I land, I'm shifting my hips and I'm out because it's the best case scenario. Now, let's say I do something else. Like, this guy's coming. Boom! Boom! Okay. There's a good chance that's not going to work. There's a damn good chance that's not going to work. In the movies, yeah, it's going to work. It's going to work because it's a movie, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's what the script says. You're going to front kick Larry, boom, and then jump front kick Sam. So, Larry goes down, Sam goes down, victory for the hero. Okay, in a movie, yeah. That's going to work because it's written in the script that I'm supposed to be the victorious guy with my hands tied. In real life, fuck that shit. Because in real life, if Larry's closer to me than Sam is, I'm going to send Larry at Sam. So Larry's coming, boom. Him and Sam are right there. I just led Sam into a fucking death trap smashing into Larry. At my landing position, I'm shifting my hips and I'm out. Because that's the best case scenario. Now let's say I screw up. That's the case I screw up. So I kick Larry with the wrong leg. Same move, wrong leg. So I do outside to inside crescent kick to Larry. Boom. I set myself up to get hit by Sam. You understand? I didn't set myself in a position where I can go. Anything that I go from this point, Sam has me dead to rights. Because my dumb ass did the wrong kick. Alright? You got to know your fighting position. You have to know where your opponents are. You can't take the time to count the steps. You already have to have your game plan in motion. So, again, Larry's coming this way. I got this move. Boom! Now I set Larry over here so I can catch Sam. Now I got Sam. He's coming. I can tap in this, or I can jump out of the way and knee Sam. Again, in the movies, that's going to work. Because it's a movie. It's supposed to work. It's supposed to be victorious. In real life, there's a good chance that I just fucked up and Larry might recover before I'm finished with Sam. So you have to understand that. And by the way, my hands are still tied, which is like 40% of the problem right there. The 60% of the problem is that there's two dudes and I'm one guy with my hands tied. Again, in the movies, it's not going to be a problem because in the movies, I'm supposed to be the badass. In real life, the problem is if I don't take one of these guys out before they take me out, I have a problem. And they're probably going to beat me to death because I just pissed them off because I kicked Larry in the face. And then I need Sam. And if these guys are tough as nails, I'm going to hell. But a really bad trip called a beatdown. So you have to understand how shit works. You want to use moves that are going to be effective and escape worthy. Like I said, if Larry's coming at you and Larry's closer than Sam, you get Larry. Don't get Larry with an opposite kick unless you know you're going to be able to pull this, which it probably shouldn't be done, but I'm going to show you just because I'm telling you that you shouldn't do it. So Larry's right there. What if Sam catches your foot? What if Sam sees you take out Larry and when you throw your second kick, which we'll do again. So this is Larry. Now, first mistake, I left the ground. I gave him a jump kick. It's good because I didn't go that high, but you probably really shouldn't leave the ground. It's kind of hard to recover when you're in the air, especially if you don't know how to land and your hands are tied. So you would probably rather do it this way. You got a better shot versus what I did the first time. Now let's say I decide to catch Larry with a jump left foot and catch Sam with the right. It's a good chance it might work. It's a good chance it won't. So here we go. Jumping front left. There's no power. You can see that there's no power right there. So if they're running, my power depends on them. However, their weight is going to eliminate a lot of my power and give me a problem if the momentum is still coming at me full steam. You have to take these things into accountability when you are in a fight. No matter what anybody else tells you, when you're in a fight, that other person's momentum is the key factor of how you are going to hit them. Which is, again, you go with option 1. Larry, Sam. Larry's closer. Step back. Bam! Outside to inside crescent kick. I put Larry in Sam's path. Alright? By putting Larry inside of Sam's path, I have increased my chances of survival. Now let's say I did that and Larry goes down, but Sam jumps over Larry. Boom! High elbow. It's a good chance that'll work. It's a good chance it won't. You'll find out if the shit happens. Again, if you have not had any martial art training, especially bound training, don't do any of this shit. And don't try to fight the cops when you're handcuffed. It's not a very good idea. That being said, for Kung Fu Havoc number 2, I'm out. And for Instagram, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys again in about 45 minutes.